My name is Kandi. I went to work. My husband had smacked me once upside the chin, had a big bruise, tried to cover it up. Went into work, and the gals were like, "What the heck happened to you?" And I was like, "Do you want the real story, or do you want the BS story?" Because I'd gotten really good at the BS story after so many years.
How many years was that you've been giving that story?
22 years. And I really wanted out, but I could not figure out how to get out, because he was one of these guys that told me, "If you leave me, I will hunt you down and I will kill you. I will hunt down our kids. I will kill them. I will kill your mom and your dad and your sisters and any other family and friends that you have that keep me away from you."
Wow. How many times have you heard this? Why don't you just tell? Like, why don't you just go to the police and tell them? Well, this is a good indication of the reason why you were scared.
Yeah, you're scared. You don't know what to do. Matter of fact, after he was arrested, he stayed in jail for a while. They finally let him out after his court time. Within 12 hours of getting out of jail, he was breaking down the front door to get at me. He was rearrested 5 days later, but during that time, I lived in fear, not knowing where he was and if he was going to come back for me and the kids. When I went to work, the other gals were like, "Tell us what happened." And I was like, "Well, this is basically what happened." And at the time, I was somewhat starting to see a counselor for another issue with one of my kids. And so they called up the counselor, and I went to the counselor. And the counselor said, "This is bad enough where I am forced by law to report this to the police." So it was taken out of my hands. And that's what I want to let other people know is if you see something that's off, you can report it anonymously. And a lot of times the women want out of this situation, but they're too afraid to call. So if you take it out of their hands, sometimes it really alleviates, and it is a stress reliever to have it taken so that they can get out of this situation.
And how long has it been since you've been free of fear?
7 years.
7 years. What is it like living without fear?
Tell you the truth, it's awesome. I mean, I got to, for 22 years, I suppressed who I was normally. But after I got out of the relationship, my old self reemerged. I'm much happier. I can go places and do things that I want to do. Matter of fact, this last summer, to boost my self-esteem, I learned how to ride a motorcycle 4 years ago. Knew nothing about motorcycles. I jumped on this little motorcycle, and I rode halfway across the United States to Illinois to visit family, and then back again. When I got to Illinois, where I was actually born, I realized I had just ridden halfway across the United States by myself without anybody else with me. If I can do that, I can do anything that I want to do. And it's such a power boost to know that I'm free, that I can do what I want, say what I want. And I'm sorry, but if you don't like what I'm saying, that's your problem, not my problem.
This was the original you.
This was the original me.
That you lost over a 22-year span. Now
Yes.
you're back.
I'm back.
You must have been a feisty young lady.
Oh, yeah. I'm a redhead. So, yeah, redheads have got fire. Also, if you're just a regular person driving down the road, because a lot of times abuse will happen in vehicles.
You were getting beat around in the car, just driving around with your
Yeah, I was being abused in the vehicle. He'd get mad about something, and he'd backhand me, pull my hair, pull my head down to the seat. If you see any kind of abuse, you can call the cops. You can say, "This is what I saw."
And you can be anonymous, too.
Right.
Yeah.
You can be anonymous. You don't have to, say who it is. A lot of times, we are looking for a way out, but we don't know how to get out. So to have somebody come in and do it for us is a great big stress reliever. And as I told the cops after it was all basically done, I says, this is not just one cat coming out of the bag. I have entire litters that are stuffed in this bag that are now coming out. And I was so relieved to have that bag gone.